I'm Joe Padula. And this is Kelly Kellett and Bill Kellett. How you guys doing?
Great. How are you?
Good morning, good morning. And yes, this is the local news you need to know. Absolutely. Hey, we're going to be going over some 9/11 stuff today. All right. Kind of a somber day. You know, you don't say Happy 9/11 Day. You know what I mean? It's just not the right approach to it. People still do it though, Kelly. Ever hear that? Ever hear anyone go Happy 9/11? Right? It's just weird. You don't say it like that. So yeah, they're representing a Blue Cord Realty, which you hear us talk about all the time. You know the song. I sing a song about you guys all the.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, every show. You know, it's to the Jeffersons theme song, Moving On Up, but it's you know, instead of we finally got a piece of the pie, it's BlueCordRealtyClarksville.com. You'll hear it in a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You'll hear it in a bit. Yes. So, hey, do me a favor, though, okay? Make sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, the whole bits. All right? Boom. Here, where's my bell? There we go. 23 years ago? 9/11?
22?
Right?
2001.
2001 is 20. Oh, right.
Yep.
Damn. Wow. That's crazy.
Lifetime ago.
That is crazy, Bill.
And we were at Riverfest this weekend, and we were talking to some of the younger people.
Here, can you pull that mic just a little bit closer?
We
Yeah.
were at Riverfest this weekend talking to some of the younger people.
Right.
And they really have zero idea
About 9/11.
about 9/11. It blows my mind.
You would think it'd be taught.
You would think.
Should be taught.
It should be, right.
Right.
Those who do not know their history are doomed to repeat its mistakes.
That's a ding, Bill. That's a good ding right there. You got a nice ding.
Thank you.
I think so.
Yep, Tim Early, 22 years. What's up? Good morning, Tim. There are kids graduating college that weren't born when it happened, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Good point, Tim. Good point. The media coverage of that day. I pieced together this video. This was in 2011. Yeah, September 2011. I pieced this video together,
11 years.
and that's crazy.
Yeah.
And I put this together because I wanted to, because I was down there that day. You know, this was towards the South Tower. What's up, Justin? Good morning to you. He was in basic training that day. Oof. Justin, that's interesting. I want to hear more about your story, too. Bill, where were you?
I was in the bottom of where Joe Pitt's office is now, and doing training for the police department.
You were doing training for the police department when you found out that America was being attacked.
Yep.
Wow. I got questions about that here in a bit. Oh, yeah, here's 846.
We have breaking news. This out of downtown Manhattan. A plane has allegedly crashed into the World Trade Center.
Just a few moments ago, something believed to be a plane crashed into the World Trade Center. I just saw flames inside. You can see the smoke coming out of the tower. We have no idea
that's
what
the
it
North
was.
Tower
It was a
right there.
tremendous boom just a few moments ago. You can hear around me emergency vehicles.
You know, it's surprising to me that I really tried to find more footage of someone capturing this first plane hitting the North Tower, but all there really is this one, and this was a tourist doing some type of documentary in New York that caught the initial start of it all.
You know, it looks like a face, kind of.
Oh, right here?
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow, Kelly, oof. It does look evil, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It really did look like a movie.
It's like a dragon spitting fire.
Man. What's up, Joe Quinters? How you doing? He was at Fort Bliss, Texas on 9/11. He was getting ready to go to NBC, of course, that day. Man. Tim Early. That's not surprising. Why would someone just be randomly filming and watching at 8 a.m.? I know, I hear you. I got questions about 9/11. I really do. Only because I was over here by the South Tower, and when that came down, and I'll tell that story here in a bit. That was crazy. Good morning, Maria. ArtLink Maria hanging out with us this morning. I was in Niagara Falls, actually. Tell us about that, Maria. Fill me in. Why were you in Niagara Falls? Maria's pregnant, by the way, so congratulations, Maria. She's going to kill me for that. She's not pregnant.
Oh my gosh.
She made a mistake and said that she was, but she meant something different. Back to 9/11.
Coming out of the tower, we have no idea what it was. It was a tremendous boom just a few moments ago. You can hear around me emergency vehicles heading towards the scene.
I was taking the garbage out of the building when we.
Look at the size of that hole. That is massive. That gap. Now, if you've never seen the World Trade Center buildings, okay, the North Tower, the South Tower, massive, like massive. Like you look up, and it's. I've never seen in person any taller building. And it's a block wide, pretty much. You know what I mean? It's a wide building.
Roaring engines coming. We looked up and there was a plane. Next thing you know, we heard boom. We ran up to the corner and hit right into the World Trade Center.
Can you tell us what kind
Joe
of an
Quinters,
airplane is
his son was a month old. Okay, the world I thought he would grow up changed forever. Yes, sir.
How to be a 737 how to hit the World Trade Center. It was a big, big plane.
The 737 has crashed into this
Tim
speculation
Early
at this point.
drive
Three
away.
doors taken out, crashed into the side of the building.
Right.
On the roof of my building, which is about 5 blocks to the south of the World Trade Center, I'm looking right now at the World Trade Center. There's a massive gaping hole on the second tower. It's about 15 stories from the roof.
Oh my God.
It really was weather-wise a gorgeous day in New York. It must have been 80 to 85 degrees and just clear skies. So when we were listening to Howard Stern at the time, okay, now he's a joke, Stern.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell happened to this guy. Corporate sellout now, okay? But we were listening to Stern, and that's when we heard that the North Tower got hit. And like everybody, we thought, what kind of idiot hit this North Tower on a beautiful day like today?
All over the place. I hope nobody, if there's got to be somebody killed in it and poor people that went to work.
Maria, I'll tell that story in just a moment. See, that's the South Tower hitting at 9:03 a.m., all right? And this is when all the cameras were on the tower.
Yep.
All right? I mean, like when you guys first heard that the North Tower was hit, right? You guys were watching, I'm assuming on TV, when the second plane hit?
So it's funny, I was dropping Sarah and Samantha off at Barksdale.
At school.
They were in elementary school. And so I was dropping them off and thought it was an accident.
Yeah,
the first one.
that's right.
And it's like, oh my gosh, how did this happen?
Were they reporting on it on like the radio?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it said, we're going to interrupt this, whatever, and this is happening. So I'm thinking it's an accident. So I'm driving down the street, and I almost get to, our office.
Yeah.
And the second one hits. And I'm like, okay. And so at that point.
You just went back to the school to pick them up?
Pick them up.
Okay.
Yeah.
And bring them home. Family.
Yep.
That was the goal. Just be with family.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And Bill, you said you were a Clarksville Police Department at the time.
Yep.
And what did you guys hear when at 9:03 a.m. Eastern time, 10:03 your time?
We were actually watching it on TV after the first hour. The news came on, so they put it on TV, and
Yeah.
we watched it. So,
Boom. What'd you think as a cop?
well, when the first one hit, I'm thinking, man, that's an idiot.
Yeah.
And then when the second one hit, I said, yeah, this ain't. We're in trouble.
So we're in this building over here. You can kind of get a glimpse of it. Not really.
People that went to work.
See, we're right over here. Yeah. And we heard the engine fly over our building because Jeff was the foreman. It was work for my father's business, okay, construction. We were gutting a building and putting in all the new stuff, all the new furniture, running all the new data lines, all that stuff right there, So this office building right down here in front of the South Tower on Vesey Street there, when we heard the first tower got hit on Howard Stern, Jeff goes, Junior, I'm going to need you. Let's go take a look. It was smoke break. And you know me, I don't like being called Junior, but that was their way of busting my balls because my father was the boss. Junior, let's go take smoke break. So we were going to go check out the North Tower. That's when we hear the roaring of those engines fly overhead. And when the South Tower got hit, like it was rah, rah, rah. And then when the South Tower got hit, you actually boom! You hear the boom. And everything shook. Here, look. Boom! Yeah, crazy. And that's when there was a guy. Who was it? Was it Frankie? I don't know. Someone's looking out the window and saying, "Oh my God, there's a beam fell." Somebody said a beam fell. We didn't know it was a second plane that hit. Because I forget who it was, but they're looking out the window and they're saying, I think a beam fell. Because on Broadway, because Broadway is right here, all right? Well, sorry, you can't see me pointing, but yeah. Broadway's like right here, all right? And there was debris all over the place. And I don't know if I think it was a piece of the plane, actually, that was on the ground. So Jeff and I start going down the emergency stairs, all right? And we open up the side doors, the emergency doors, and there they are. There's the, as you can kind of see it here, the South Tower and the North Tower, and there they are. And as you can see, this black smoke just coming out of it, just like this. Oh, my God. Yeah, you see all this debris coming down? Right.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, God.
So...
Oh, my goodness, there's another one.
Seems to be on purpose.
Oh, my
yeah,
goodness.
You think, ma'am?
Now it's obvious, I think, that...
Good morning, Gloria Mason.
Plane just crashed into the World Trade Center. I think we have a terror attack. Our proportions...
So you open up those emergency doors there. Yeah, that's a good angle, actually. And it really looked like a movie set. And as you're coming out of the building, you got other guys behind you too, but as soon as you open up those doors, you're put in this state of shock, actually. And you're just staring at it. And these guys are coming behind you, they're pushing you out of the way, and you're just staring at it. I do remember... you know, you got all these guys on the job sites, and everyone has nicknames, you know, whether it's Junior or, you know, friggin' Frankie Gloves, okay? And I do remember Machine Gun Mike, okay? Machine Gun Mike, he got his nickname because every time he had this nervous tick where when he would get nervous or panicky, he would start laughing like a machine gun. I know, but so we called it Machine Gun Mike. And he was ticking, you know what I mean? Junior, so I remember that. I remember Anthony was on the job, but Jeff was the foreman. We got along, but we did not get along because, you know, I was a dumb kid. And you know what? He's right. I was a dumb kid. And dumb kids never admit to being dumb kids. That's why they're dumb. So, but I'm following his lead. And he's like, all right, Junior, let's go see what we can do and help out. So we start walking towards the South Tower, and there is a cop there. And the cop is saying, stop, you can't come any closer. You have to go south. And then you look up, and you could see the people jumping out of the building. And the angle that we were watching, or at least we're standing in front of, this friggin' massive South Tower now hit. The way that the sun was coming in, you saw the shadows or the silhouettes of these people dropping from the building. And... ooh. I can't even imagine the watching this live because, again, you know, we were in this building over here, you know. We didn't see what the hell was going on out there. I can only imagine the panic at that time. The real panic set in for us was when we started seeing those people dropping. And they were so high up. Because, I mean, look, I get it. You jump out of this. I would you jump or would you burn? You know what I mean? If this is your scenario, do you jump or burn? Whoa. That's not a thought or a decision that was on the brain when you went to work that morning. And it's stuff like that you can't forget. And I think people have forgotten. Or, like what Kelly and Bill said earlier at Riverfest, aren't even aware that people had that thought here in this country. Because it's not being taught. It's not being reminded. And that's why you should never forget and always remember where you were on 9/11, because there are 3,000 people that can't tell that story now.
On the World Trade Center, what we have been fearing for the longest time here.
What a day to quit smoking, huh? Oof.
Today's the day?
Well, no, I cut back, but I'm having a nicotine fit right now. If I was Machine Gun Mike, I'd be. Yeah, there's the North Tower. All right, so while all this is going on, there's a taxi cab because we're just staring up. Just what can we do? Watching these bodies come down, and then. Because you got I think it's 5 World Trade Center right here, who has an awning. Because you lose sight of the people, then all of a sudden, when you're watching, you're following these silhouettes. And that's dead bodies on impact. And when the thumps happen, too, like you see like the debris and stuff from underneath the canopy. It was crazy. So while all that's going on, there's a cab. Kids, there used to be this thing called taxi cabs, okay, before Uber and Lyft. There were these yellow cars that you called or hailed, and they came and got you, and you gave them money, okay, after you went somewhere of your destination. It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah. After. And guess what? You could tip them if you wanted to in real money and in real time. So this cab is open, and he's got 1010 Wins on, which is the AM station, the big New York AM station over there. And there was, if they said there was, if I remember, like 20 to 25 other planes unaccounted for. Okay, that was because if you remember, they were grounding flights.
All flights.
All flights. They were grounding them all.
Yep.
And the news reported that there was planes unaccounted for still out there, and that we just heard that the Pentagon got hit, okay? And to be honest with you, we weren't told on that news broadcast, that it was a plane. We were just told that the Pentagon was attacked and hit. So we didn't know what the hell was going on. John Montone, Tim Early, yes. John Montone, 1010 Wins, was the guy doing the reporting. Thank you, Tim Early, New York cop, okay? Justin Nichols, the officers, EMTs, firefighters, and other emergency workers saved so many lives that day. Imagine if they weren't stopping people like they did you. You know what, Justin Nichols? That's a good point. You're absolutely right. So many more would have been injured or killed while trying to help. You're absolutely right, Justin Nichols. Nailed it. Never even thought about that until you just wrote that there, buddy. So yeah, 9:37. Pentagon gets hit. We can have that discussion another day, but.
The scene that is eerily reminiscent of what we saw at the World Trade Center. Thick black smoke now emanating from the Pentagon.
Now, when you guys heard about the Pentagon, fill me in. What were you thinking, Kelly?
Well, it's funny. We never had we've been everywhere and blown up other people.
Yeah,
You know?
right.
I mean, but we've never had something happen here.
Uh-huh.
And I know that it was kind of centered, but not really. You know, you've got New York and you have, Washington. And so it was like, okay, where's the next one?
Right.
And so.
You were expecting more.
Right.
Okay.
And so it was like, I think for you guys, so for me, it was really different. It's like, I think that everyone came together, and we were all a family.
Uh-huh.
No matter who you were, but what really is important is that not only did it change their lives, but it changed your lives.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody's life was.
But even more than that,
Uh-huh.
not just like, okay, our perception has changed. You left and you joined the military.
Yeah.
He came out of the police department
Uh-huh.
and went to go do counterterrorism.
Right.
And so I can't imagine where everyone would have been had this not happened.
Interesting.
Like, he would have probably just stayed a police officer
Right.
forever, and you wouldn't have been here.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
There would be no reason for me to speak of a place called Clarksville, Tennessee.
Right. You never would have come. You would have been doing probably construction.
Right.
So it's
Yeah,
really,
you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
I would have been hanging out with Machine Gun Mike. That's right.
That's right.
Oh, my goodness.
That
Oh, my
stupid
goodness.
tick of his.
We're looking at a live picture from Washington, and there is smoke pouring out of the Pentagon. It would
Tim
appear
Early, police headquarters.
There has been another
There's
major explosion. This one in the nation's
There's a
capital.
few
You are looking at a
walkable
scene
blocks
of,
away, right? There were guys,
apparent blast aftermath.
the pension
There is
section,
smoke in the air over the Pentagon.
literally turning in their shields to retire,
has crashed into the Pentagon.
pulled their papers like a movie, and ran down there to help. I know of at least one who didn't come back, one who should have been his retirement day. Right.
Airliner get plowed right into the Pentagon.
At this point, the Pentagon, the White House, the Capitol, and the Treasury have been evacuated in Washington.
Bodies started dropping.
Here, this is the part. All right, do you see it? Do you see the
Yep.
the silhouette? This is
The top floors of the tower closest to the highway. It was absolutely
There it is.
terrible.
Right.
Obviously, they had two choices: to be burned in flames or to leap and end it all.
Yeah, like what do you do? What do you do? Again, like here it is. Elevators are cut off at this point. All right. I think there was one working elevator on the other side of the South Tower. The stairwells, okay. But you can't get out. You can't get out. And imagine you're hanging out of this window, and you are what? 1,000 feet from the ground? With not strapped in, not harnessed in, no OSHA regulations. Okay, like you're a window cleaner. It's you clinging to the top of the World Trade Center, and you got to debate whether you jump or burn.
Windows 3 stories up, and a number of bodies have actually hit the pavement.
Lori Mason. Do you hear it?
We thought it was debris and we realized it was people jumping.
I've seen at least 10 people fall to their death.
People are jumping out the windows. Over there, they're jumping out the windows, I guess because they're trying to save themselves. I don't know.
What do you say? What do you say? Do you say a prayer, I imagine, right before you take the plunge? And this is something, man. Yo, there is a God. His son is Jesus. Repent your ways, serve him, and praise him, and move forward. I'm just telling you. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to debate you. I'm telling you. Do it. Do it.
lot of them were either on the floor.
So 9:58. Like you saw those people standing outside, you know, that were Jeff and I. And you know, again, weather-wise, it was really nice out. We're all standing outside. We couldn't go north. Okay, we wanted to go to the Hoboken Ferry because, like what Kelly did earlier, she dropped off her kids, heard about the second plane, turned around and said, "Nope, grabbing my kids. I'm spending time with my family. I need to be with my family." That's what we're all thinking too. Is okay, we're stuck on this island because they cut off everything. You couldn't get the bridges. You couldn't drive on. You couldn't drive off. The only thing you could do was walk off through the Brooklyn Bridge. We didn't live in Brooklyn. Stupid taxes. Of course we didn't live in Brooklyn. Idiots live in Brooklyn. We live in Jersey. Right. Well, now I live here in Tennessee, and idiots live in Jersey. Stupid taxes. Blue Cord Realty, Clarksville.com. So we were going to take the Hoboken Ferry, which is Midtown Manhattan, into Jersey. Boom. And then we get a ride home from there. Too easy. But we couldn't go north because the cops were stopping us. And like Justin said, what's up, Kendrick? How you doing, brother? Amen to you, too. I hear you. So it's about this time now where Jeff was like, all right. And we got no cell phone service. None. If you remember cell phones at that time, too, mine had an antenna that kids, so they used to have phones, okay, that not only did you flip open, but they had this thing that you pulled out called an antenna, okay? All right, I have one of those. Right. And you thought by pulling it out, it made a difference with reception. Boy. Oh, and kiddos, guess what? They also had this scam called nighttime and daytime hours for calls and roaming. Right. Roaming. Unbelievable. Oh, yeah, and buttons that you actually pressed. Very good, Tim Early. Right. There was actual buttons that you pressed.
And everybody wasn't free, so only your area code was free.
Yo.
Or your family.
What a scam.
Yeah.
And we had this thing called rollover minutes that they teased us with. Yeah. Because you had a certain amount of minutes that you were allowed to use each month because mommy and daddy telephone company said so. And if you didn't go over it, well, if you were lucky enough, they let you have those extra minutes next month. Such a scam, the friggin' daytime and nighttime rates.
You know we're sounding ancient.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, sorry. It's not about us getting old. It's about never forgetting, always remembering 9/11. So now it's 9:58, okay? And you hear this crack. You hear it. You hear break. You hear the sound of break. And you look up, and it's the South Tower. And that's the building that we're standing in front of.
The exchange. Oh my God! Oh my God!
And it just starts rumbling and crumbling down. And see all this. So now, as you're looking up, again, stunned, Jeff Jr. run. And he grabs my collar because, again, like me and other people, you're just staring at this as it's coming down on top of you. You're not even realizing, move. You know, Acura Bob, that's a great question. Who did it? Acura Bob, I hear you, and I got questions, especially about Building 7. Because as we're running, and I saw Building 7 down there that day as we're running, but we'll get to that in a moment. Now, you can't outrun this, by the way. All right? Because we're booking, and I'm following Jeff. And like I said, we wanted to get to the Hoboken Ferry, but we couldn't go north. So we're running now south. And I'm following him, and he's taking us to the Staten Island Ferry, which is going to get us off the island. But so we're booking. We're running. You don't outrun this. And what's not only is it just these, it looks like solid clouds of just shit. Let me just say it, okay? It looks like just pure evil toxin shit right here, okay? And you can't outrun it. And it's not just clouds. There is solid material following. And that's when you hear it, then you feel it, because it was now this warm. It was warm. And you also taste it. And I still get the chemical taste, like it's a part of the memory, And the chemical taste, because it starts, and then it hits you, and you can't see, and then all of a sudden the pinging of all this other crap that's being pushed with it, and it's sharp. It's sharp, and you can't see. You can't see. Yeah, I know, Justin. I know. Everyone, like in this footage here, you see people carrying their briefcases, and where we were, everyone just dropped whatever the hell they were holding or carrying. You saw purses, high heels, forget them, run. Yep.
But it is a surreal and devastating scene over here, something like I've never seen before.
There was an alley where it turns the corner. And that's when I look back, and that's when you go, oh my God, it's not alive. But in the back of your brain, you go, yo, this is alive. This thing is coming. This thing is coming for not good intentions.
A situation that started bad just gets worse and worse and worse. The World Trade
Yeah,
Center,
check this out.
South Tower, trusted by
It just swallows everything.
approximately an hour ago, has totally collapsed.
Literally, people ran out of their shoes trying to get out of the way of this thing.
Didn't matter where you ran. You know what I mean? Like, did you see it just come out of the alley and just say, no, I got you. And then it just swallows you. And you hear, those sirens, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. You also heard, I think it was the firefighters who had these things that chirped to let them or people know where they were, if they were trying to be found, or if they were, I think, Tim Early in the comments, you would know. Did the NY Fire Department have these things that chirped, that made noises? I think they did. Nuno in the comments. I was in court again at the exact moment. The accusation's absolute nonsense, so we were happy and laughing. And here, I'll read that. Nuno, it's quite the paragraph you got there. I'll get back to that in a moment. And Tim Early, it's called a pass alarm. Okay, thank you. Right. If you don't move 2 minutes, it goes off. Okay. I get it. A pass out, right. It's to find you if you pass out. So it's dark. Okay? So, while all this is happening, I'm running onto, I saw people jumping into the Hudson River, okay? Because, Manhattan's an island here. You got the Hudson River, okay, on the west, All right, and the East River on the east, go figure. But I saw them jumping into, and they were straddling the barrier, assessing whether to jump or not. Because it's not like it's you walk down, there's a beach. You got to jump a little bit into the Hudson there. So, and that was at Battery Park. I remember that guy. The guy looked like Charles Barkley to me for some reason. That memory sticks out. A thinner Charles Barkley. Maybe a Barkley from the 80s, his 76er days. Okay, if that helps with the vision. Tim Early goes, the cloud was probably cleaner than the Hudson River. Tim, he's probably right, though. So, I'm following Jeff, and they're closing the doors to the ferry, and he goes, hold those fucking doors. Hold those fucking doors. And there's two other people following us as well, too. So we jump on, and now the gray part is over. Now it's the black stuff. Okay, it was gray first, and then it was, see this black stuff that's on the screen now? This is what hits us, and you can't see anything. And people are screaming for doctors, screaming to open the windows. People, panic. It's panic. And you're covered in this crap. And again, it was a warm 80 to 85 degree day. And the cuts. And you don't know. You don't know what the hell's happening. You don't know. You do hear, though. You do hear, again, the screaming, the sirens, the alarms. You also hear the foghorns of the ferries. There's about 7 boats in that harbor. Can't see anything. All full of people, just like this one, the Staten Island one that we're on. And they're all communicating, okay, with their foghorns. And they're getting the hell out of there and not running into each other. That stuck out. That was interesting for me anyway, being on the S end of that boat, hearing that. So we get about halfway to Staten Island. Oh, yeah, all that crap. And all those people that died afterwards from all this inhale and intake, right? So we get about halfway to Staten Island, and that's when we could see again. Now, this is an alleged recording. I have to say that now. It's unfortunate. But this is an alleged recording from Flight 93, the plane that went down in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Bill, what was that allegedly was supposed to be targeted? Was that the Capitol or the White House? Do we know that? Has that ever been?
I think it was headed for the White House.
The White House.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and this is the one where the Let's Roll, right? Remember Glick and Nichols, I think, were the passengers.
Another plane has crashed. This one about 80 miles south of Pittsburgh.
These are the first pictures we have in. This is from Somerset County, Pennsylvania. This is where the United Airlines Flight 93, this was a Boeing 757 bound from Newark, New Jersey to San Francisco. It crashed in Somerset County, Pennsylvania near the town.
Now remember, all of these planes, these 4 planes, okay, the 2 that ended up in New York, the one that ended up in D.C., and the one that ended up going down in Pennsylvania, were all flights across for the West Coast. So they were full of fuel, right? Full of fuel, right?
Town of Shanksville.
Yeah, the passengers overtook the cockpit. Right, Justin.
Dallas? Yes. When did he land? Because he did not land. Oh, he's down?
There's nothing there.
we are getting information, according to the Associated Press, that there was a passenger on that flight who dialed 911, and he was calling emergency officials saying that he was being, quote, hijacked. We are being hijacked.
There was a soft-spoken, calm gentleman on the other end. He told me that there's 3 people that have taken over the flight. At that point, I asked him his name. He told me Todd Beamer.
Todd Beamer.
I feel that Todd played a great role in that, because when he told the guys, "Are you ready?" then they responded to him, and he said, "Okay, let's roll."
Today, our fellow citizens, our way of life, our very freedom came under attack.
And then,
in a series of
the North
deliberate
Tower
and
came
deadly
down.
terrorist acts. The victims were moms and dads, friends and neighbors. Thousands of lives were suddenly ended by evil, despicable acts of terror. The pictures of airplanes flying into buildings, fires burning, huge structures collapsing, have filled us with disbelief, terrible sadness.
Now,
and
about
a
this
quiet,
point here,
unyielding anger.
this was, we're about
These
halfway to
acts of
Staten
mass
Island on
murder
that
were intended
ferry.
to frighten our nation into chaos and retreat.
And,
But
yeah,
they
we're
have
about
failed.
over here.
Our country is strong. A
And that's
great
when the
people
North
has
Tower
been
came
moved
down.
to defend a great nation. Terrorist attacks can shake the foundations of our biggest buildings, but they cannot touch the foundation of America. These acts shatter steel, but they cannot dent the steel of American resolve. America was targeted for attack because we're the brightest beacon for freedom and opportunity in the
Hit and burn for about 2 hours. And then they come down.
world, and no one will keep that light from shining. Today, our nation saw evil, the very worst of human nature, and we responded with the best of America, with the daring of our rescue workers.
When they came down, what was on the brain, Kelly? What was on the mind?
It was almost like it was fake. I mean, how does that happen?
Right. How does that happen?
Yeah, I mean, it was just, I don't know.
Right.
It was almost like we didn't really have video games the way that we have now, but it
Yeah.
was just disbelief and how.
How? I still have that question today.
With
I
the
really
caring
do.
of- for strange-
I question everything now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you want to call me wackadoo or whatever. I question everything now. And if you don't, you're the wackadoo. What's up, KG? You're right, KG. It was like watching a movie, right?
Yeah.
See, I didn't get a chance to watch it live on the TV, but even watching it in person with this stuff all over you and cut and now it's clumping. Now it's clumping up on you and the taste, and everyone's got reverse raccoon eyes. You know what I mean? Just and even with this stuff on you, it still is like, is this real? Is this real? Even though it's like, yo, this is real, bro. This is real.
And neighbors who came to give blood.
Thank you, Lori. You're
and
not
help
alone
in
either.
Any way they could. Immediately following the first attack, I implemented our government's emergency response plans. Our military is powerful, and it's prepared. Our emergency teams are working in New York City and Washington, D.C. to help with local rescue efforts. Our first priority is to get help to those who have been injured and to take every precaution to protect our citizens at home and around the world from further attacks. The search is underway for those who are behind these evil acts. I've directed the full resources of our intelligence and law enforcement communities to find those responsible and to bring them to justice.
Yeah, I'll never forget it. I'll never forget this rolling thunder coming your way and then just swallowing you and then wondering if this is it. I've only had that thought a few other times. One of them was was down there at the South Tower. Another one was in Kandahar in the IED fields when we got stupid us we got set up, and we're in this IED field, and they're on their firing points along the tree line, and that's when when you take a step and you go, is this it? And you're just taking another step and you go, is this it? Is this it? It's a strange feeling, but there is some type of calm, or at least for me, there was a type of calm in both scenarios. And believe you me, I am not a victim. My story may be different than yours, but it is not better than yours. It may be more detailed than yours, but it has the same substance and relevance as yours. This is not about me. I'm just trying to help you remember where you were that day and help you remember why it's important to remember. Okay? That's my thing. That's it. So with that being said, there is this angelic calmness and feeling, almost like a guidance over you, especially in Afghanistan when and guys are getting hit and blown up. Go here, Joe. Go here. Take it easy. Walk here. Okay. Whether that's training kicking in or a combination of divine guidance, I'll take it. I hope you have it too. I really do. But, yeah, I only experienced that here at 9/11, where there was no training on what to do when a building comes down on top of you, and Afghanistan.
We will make no distinction between the terrorists who committed these acts and those who harbor them. I appreciate so very much the members
Murray,
of Congress
I believe
who
so
joined
too.
me in strongly
Spirit of the
condemning
Lord,
these
I really
attacks.
do.
And on behalf of the American people, I thank the many
stuff
world
started
leaders who have
ping,
called
ping,
to
and
offer
then
their
poof.
condolences, and we stand
And
together
then you're
to
gone.
win the war.
Then you lose
against
sight of
terrorism.
people. You don't.
Tonight I ask for your prayers for all those who grieve, for the children whose worlds have been shattered, for all whose sense of safety and security has been threatened. And I pray they will be comforted by a power greater than any of us, spoken through the ages in Psalm 23. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for you are with me.
Can you imagine?
This is a day when all Americans from every walk of life unite in our resolve for justice and peace. America has stood down enemies before, and we will do so this time.
Yeah, Tim Early, Justin in the comments, I agree. Whatever your thoughts on government, okay? Whatever your thoughts on reliance on whatever, okay? Being taken care for by the government, getting information from news media, whatever. All I know is when the shit hit the fan, people stepped up. Real people, common people, people who are oblivious. Dumb 21-year-old idiots, okay? Who thought that it was cool to have floor mats for your Firebird that said Joe Padouchebag, okay? Oh, boy, dummy. But you had people there, didn't care if you were dummy or not. They grabbed you and said, run. There is still hope. There is still hope for us. Not much, but still there.
None of us will ever forget this day, yet we go forward to defend freedom and all
Yes,
that is
Maria,
good
you're right.
and just in our world. Thank you, good night, and God bless America.
And whatever you think of that guy, whatever. I hear you. I hear you. But yeah. So we finally get into Staten Island, right? Jeff and I, and we're covered in all this crap. And there's people on Staten Island all lined up there watching it. You know what I mean? Watching because, you know, Staten Island's here and you got Manhattan Island right there. And we get off and they're like, oh, what happened? And again, we're clueless. What we just watched right here, we had no understanding of what the hell happened from a bird's eye looking in. You know, we haven't seen a TV set. All we had was that radio that was from the taxi cab saying about, oh, we got to get the hell off of this island. So finally, Jeff has got a plan because, like Kelly said earlier, just wanted to be with family. All right, so Jeff is like, all right, we're gonna walk Staten Island, Victory Boulevard. Okay, Victory Boulevard runs the length of Staten Island. He knows of this this car rental place. All right, and we're gonna rent a car and then drive over the Goethals Bridge into Jersey, and then they're gonna drop me off because my car is in Paramus. Blah blah blah. Long story short, so we're walking up there, and it's a hell of a walk. It was again warm. I do remember Jeff taking off his shirt, okay, and he had kind of like man boobs, and I wanted to make a joke, and I kind of did, but I kind of didn't. I remember that again. Don't be a dumb 21-year-old kid. Be at least an idiot 21-year-old kid. So we get to the we get to the car rental place, and the car rental guy's like, no, the island's quarantined. Again, everything's quarantined. You can't get on, you can't get off, okay? So, long story short, Jeff, he just wants to get home to his wife and his kid. His kid's just a little baby at this time. And he's like, no, screw it. We'll just walk across the bridge. We'll walk across the Goethals Bridge. And if you know the Goethals Bridge, that's not a fun walk. So we start heading back to Victory Boulevard, heading back down. I mean, we're talking about like 5 hours of just walking and hiking and trekking here. But before we get to Victory Boulevard, we see a bar, this really like dive bar, this workers bar, a blue-collar bar. And Jeff goes, come on, let's go grab a beer, because now it's about noon. It's about noon 30. And we walk in there, and it's like, when someone walks in the movies, when the record scratches and everyone looks at the people walking in. It was like that. And because here we are, we're filthy, okay? Jeff put his shirt back on, by the way, just to let you know, okay? So we're filthy. And the bartender, when he points over to a slop sink is this big basin sink where you just wash stuff. And so he points to the slop sink, and then he goes, here, sit down, I'll grab you a couple beers. So we wash up, and we finally get to see the TVs because they got TVs up there. Now, kids, back then, TVs used to have backs to them, all right? They weren't these flat things, all right? They used to have these backs to them that were kind of slanted, right? Mm-hmm. And they had, some of them even had these weird things on top of them. Antennas, right. And those you pulled out too. And most of the time you broke them. Most of the time. And then most of the time, your parents would be mad at you when you would be playing with them and they break. Speaking of the parents, this is at this point, there's no communication because once again, the cell phones are down. And you're talking, you're trying to communicate. Again, I worked with my father. My father knows that we're all down there, okay? He can't get in contact with any of us. He knows we're the type of people, hey, we got to do something. Let's go help. My mother knows we're down there because, she knows. No way, and we're trying to call them, especially while we're doing our walk in Staten Island, but nonetheless, my phone started dinging, voicemails. Finally, we got some reception, voicemail. So we wash up at that bar, and the guy gets us it was Coors Light. Thank God it wasn't Bud Light, so I don't have to add that to the story. But yeah, it was Coors Light. It was 2 Coors Lights, and I think he had some food, like bar food, just some bar sandwiches or whatever. Which was like, thanks, man. Oof. And water. So I go outside, and in the voicemail, my father yelling. You know what I mean? Old school Italian dads, that when they yell at you, that's them showing affection, that they care. Well, I didn't realize this until maybe 4 years ago. But nonetheless, so I call the warehouse, the office where he is. He's at headquarters. I go, Daddy-O. He goes, where the fuck are you? What are you doing? And I go, we're okay. You know, where's Jim? Where's Anthony? Where's Mike? I don't know. I don't know where they are. I don't know. And I go, we're on Staten Island. Staten Island? Why didn't you take the Hoboken ferry? I go, we tried it. You can't, you know what I mean? He's just, it's his way of saying, oh, thank God. Thank you, Jesus, right. It's the weirdest way of saying thank you, Jesus, but it's the way, right. Did you call your mother? Did you call your mother? Right. So, and he wants to talk to Jeff, so he talks to Jeff, okay, the foreman, the guy. Right. All right, so I call my mother, and, oh, my baby, you know, right, and then that's when, oh, God, I can't, I don't want to cry, right. And my sisters, they're all home, okay? And then, where are you, Staten Island? Why did you take the Hoboken? I don't want the Hoboken ferry. No. And as soon as I heard all this is like, yeah, I just want to go home. I just want to go home. That's what everybody, and that's why I love hearing your guys' stories, because there's so many common denominators. I just want to go home. I just want to be with my family. Jeff, he just wants to go home. My father, he's like, hey, because he knows that we can't get on or off. He knows everything's quarantined. He knows everything's shut down, locked down. He goes, listen, I'll call Uncle Nicky. He's got a guy. You could stay in Staten Island. We just want to go home. Just want to go home. So Jeff calls his wife. We're like, all right. Jeff, the bartender said, don't worry about the food or drinks or whatever. Jeff goes, cash, right? Everything's cash with Jeff, everything. Wish I had some that day. Now, for like 3 years after this, you know, you owe me like $300. Okay, because he had to pay for everything, right, the whole day. Stupid me. So we start walking back. We see another bar, the Iguana Cafe, I believe it was called. And we go, yeah, one more beer. Let's just have one more beer. So we go in the Iguana Cafe. Again, you know, we're at least a little bit more clean, but everyone's in there. Everyone's in the bar. Either you're home or at the bar with your friends and family, whatever. Watching the TVs. That's when we saw George Bush go on the screen and say stuff. And, yeah. And then we grab another beer, and we'll call this one guy Fat Sal, okay? Comes, you know, Junior, are you in here? It's the guy that I believe Uncle Nicky called to pick us up. You know?
Yeah.
I think he knew Jeff. I know who he is. I don't know him, though. I don't want to know him. So, you know, hey, Fat Sal, what's up? Junior, come on, let's go. You know, you're gonna stay with me. I think him and Jeff had beef. I don't even know. So Jeff goes, hey, man, can you just give us a ride to the bridge? He goes, yeah, the bridge is closed. I know. Can you just give us a ride there? So we get in his Cadillac. Guess who's in his Cadillac? His family. His wife is in the passenger seat, okay? The two kids are in the middle, sitting next to me and Jeff now, who are in the back seat. Cadillac's big back seats. That's why they have kids. So we're sitting there, and they're asking, what happened? Oh, my God, you know, and we're just like, listen, you know just as much as we do, blah, blah, blah. And thanks. You know, we finally get to the Goethals Bridge. He lets us out. Jeff tries to give him money. The guy's like, no, I don't want your freaking money. Right, just, all right, thank you, Fat Sal. We'll call him Fat Sal. So we get to the bridge. There's a cop there. The cop goes, yeah, what are you guys going to do? What are you going to do? And Jeff is like, hey, can we walk across the bridge? And I think Jeff tried to give him money, too, the cop. So, yeah. So the cop goes, no, you're not walking across the bridge. Get in the car, and we'll take you over. So we tell him a story, and the cop's like, yeah, you should have taken the Hoboken ferry. We go, we know. Enough about the Hoboken ferry. So he takes us across, and yeah, Jeff did try. Hey, thanks, officer. You know, thanks. Right. The cop's like, I can't. All right, fine. So we get across. Now we're in Jersey finally. But man, it's like 5 miles because hey, they shut down traffic. Well, where are you going to go if you're on a highway? They shut down traffic. You're stuck in your car right there. You can't back up. You can't go forward. You're stuck. It was a miles of just people outside their cars. They see this cop drop off these people, and they're like, now they want rides. And the cop gets back, and he goes, oh, my God. You know, everyone's, what's going on? We go, we don't know. So we walked through this part of Jersey, okay, because Jeff, again, this guy's a smart man. He's a smart man. And again, I wish I did him more proud. But we walked to get to Route 109, where Jeff is going to do his Teamster friggin', hey, here's my Teamster friggin' hitchhike signal. Other truck drivers help us. Union, right. Hey, you know, we're gonna vote for politicians who want illegal immigrants taking our jobs, but we don't care. Yeah, union. Okay, but that's a different story. We'll get into that another day. So we have to walk through this ghetto part of Jersey. Okay? And oh boy, maybe we shouldn't have washed the crap off of our skin. Okay? If that helps paint the picture here. White guys do not go in this part of town at this time. Okay? That's all. It's in the evening. It's dark outside now. White boys don't walk through this part of the neighborhood, but we got to because we got nowhere else to go, because we have to cut through, because we have to get to Route 109, and we're just done. This kid comes out. He goes, you guys okay? Everything okay? He goes, yeah, just you guys are good. Just keep walking, man. Just you know, I get it. So, yeah, you know, we got the pass. We get through to Route 109. And let me tell you, while we're walking, everybody was out on their stoop or porch with the radio or one of these little... See, back in the day, they used to have this portable TV with this antenna, okay? Called a Watchman. Right. Oh, my God. Remember those?
Oh, my gosh. I forgot all about those.
So everybody was out watching or listening. Just listening for... I don't even know. Were there even updates? I don't even know that day. So we get to Route 109. Jeff does his thing. Nobody's pulling over. I knew it was a friggin' ruse or whatever. And as soon as I thought that and said that, some guy pulls over. So this nervous guy, this nervous truck driver from Haiti, Jean, or Jean, right? Jean. It's John, but with Z. Right. It's a French thing, because I think France was, I don't know. All I know is this guy was nervous AF. Because he pulls over. We walk around to the driver's side. He rolls down the window. The first thing he says to me, you gonna rob me? You gonna rob me? But the guy still felt compelled to pull over. Even though he thought, like, hey, you guys gonna rob me? Is this... And Jeff was like, nah, man, nah. We just need to get home. We need to get to Mahwah, New Jersey, which is right on the land border of Jersey and New York. Because that's where Jeff lives. That's where the headquarters is. And my car is just a little bit way down because Jeff and I carpooled into the city that morning. Because his car was in Battery parking garage. I don't even know what happened to that car. Wow. So Jean goes, okay, yeah, no, I go to, I think he was going to LaGuardia Airport. We're like, you're not going to any airport today, Jean. No way. He's like, no, I have delivery. I must take. So we're driving along, and this guy had a nervous tick. His was snapping. The guy was snapping his fingers the whole time. I remember Jeff, because I had to ride bitch, is it what I think it's called? Okay. No offense. Just, if you're not the window seat guy, you're in the middle, that's called riding bitch. So Jeff keeps nudging me and pointing at Jean, and he's asking questions, and you know, we're like, hey, John, take it easy, man. Thank you for the ride. And he's telling us about his family in Haiti. I think it was Haiti. I really do. And, hey, he's with the union. He's with the Teamsters now, and he's working hard, and his family's making their way into this country legally. Sorry.
Yeah.
But, right. All right. Long story short, because we got to get out of here. I'm sorry. I'm just rambling now. we finally got home. Finally made it home. All right. I saw Jeff walk up to his condo, and his wife ran out to greet him and meet him and hold him and hug him and kiss him. And then I saw him go inside, and I'm assuming to kiss his child or take a leak. Who knows? Probably both. And then he walks out. We got his wife's Durango. He takes me to my car. I get in my car. I plug in my phone, charge it because the phone's dead at this point. More messages. I get one from my sister Stephanie, my oldest sister. And her message is, I'm at Michelle's house, who I had a crush on. So I said, I'll be right there. I remember stopping off and seeing her and just telling them, hey, and then I get to my parents' house, and they have a garage where you punch in the thing, and the door opens, the garage door opens. And open it up, and there's my mom standing with the door, and oh, my baby. And I hug her. I go home, and I love you. And my father, he's awake. He goes, you okay? I go, yeah, I'm all right. And I sit down on the couch there in the family room. He gives me something to eat. I think he gave me some of his back pain pills, Vicodin, I think. I don't even know. But the mission was to get home, and we were all home. So, yeah, Kelly, I get what you say. Just wanted to be my family. That's it. 9/11, never forget, always remember. Love to hear your stories. Please put them in the comments. Sorry, guys, I didn't realize what time it was. Crazy world, right, Bill?
Crazy world,
Right.
yep.
Yeah.
I love hearing your story every year. It brings everything back, and so it's worth being silent and not talking to hear what you have to say.
Well, like stated earlier, it's only because you got the 3,000 people that weren't given a chance to remember where they were on that day. And Maria, you're welcome. Yeah, no, it's crazy. It gets more in depth, but that's for another day. I think we just move forward today. Don't say happy 9/11 day. Move forward and ask somebody, hey, where were you on 9/11? I would love to hear your story. Even if it's, man, I was in 3rd grade. Ask questions. Hey, did they bring in a TV? Did you watch? Ask. Today. Make that a thing. Hey, where were you on 9/11? And if you got a kid that wasn't even born yet, tell them your story. Fill them in. As Bill said earlier, do you want to repeat itself? Right?
Yep.
All right. All right, let's get out of here. Tim Early, I'm shocked there's no 9/11 sales on used cars yet. Yeah, that's coming one day, right? Right? One day.
I wanted to remind you, so Daryl Worley.
Yes.
Who did a song called Have You Forgotten? Actually did a remake of that song about where we are today.
Yeah.
And it's really sad.
Let me see. I don't know if we could play with copyright issues,
Yeah,
but I'm going to check that out. Have You Forgotten?
And it's a remake by Daryl Worley.
Okay.
And it's really, like I said, it's really sad. How it could make 9/11 sadder than what it is, I have no idea, but it does actually.
Wow, 13 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I think it's the Have We Forgotten.
Oh, okay.
So
4 days ago.
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me take a look. Yeah. Honestly, have you forgotten? Did you wake up today, not realizing that 22 years ago, this nation was under attack? And again, from outside, from inside, I'm just saying, when this nation and its people are under attack. Yeah, all right. I can't play it. I want to, and I will. Just copyright, they'll kick us off a broadcast right here. But I'm going to check this out, and then next time, maybe this afternoon, I'll preface it as a video reaction, a reaction video.
But everybody that's listening, you should listen to this because
Have
it's-
we forgotten?
Have we forgotten? And we have.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
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 I stole that from you.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Nice ding.
Thank you.
Get a, here, you want a big ding?
How about a ding ding? There you go.
All right, let's get out of here. I love it. But hey, never forget, always remember where you were. 2001, September 11th. It was a Tuesday. That was a Tuesday morning. Yeah. Crazy. All right. Well, let's take care of some sponsors here. Hopefully you don't mind. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Hey, keep the comments coming. And again, tell me your story. All right? Even if it's in the comments. I would love to know. Hey, Water Dogs. Scuba diving. They were set up this weekend at Riverfest. Did you see their big pool?
I did not get away from.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. I bet. But yeah, Water Dogs. Go scuba diving. All right? And great way to burn calories. You don't even know it. Right? Got to get certified, and that's where Water Dog comes in. Plus, CPR training. Yes, CPR, mouth to mouth. They know it. They were next to ArtLink. Maria of ArtLink. Now, Kelly, you and ArtLink Maria, you two have beef. What is that about?
We do?
I'm just trying to stir the pot. I'm just trying.
Sorry, I don't have beef with anybody.
Except for Tennessee Valley Brewing Company, right?
I love them.
Oh, damn it.
Sorry.
But yeah, 125 Franklin Street. Their new downtown location's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, good for them. Huge kitchen. And they have trivia on Tuesdays, award-winning trivia. I don't know who hosts it or puts it together or, spends about 6 hours forming this type of game show for the people. But whoever it is, good for them because it is fantastic.
Got to be an awesome show host.
I know.
It takes too long to put together. All right. Yep. Oh, yes, here it is. Yo, whether you're buying a house, whether you're selling a house, whether it's an apartment you need, or you got property that you need managed, man, then you want the best brokerage that there is. And you know who that is. It's Blue Cord Realty Clarksville.com.
Oh, my.
Testify. Yeah, that's what I do every morning and afternoon.
Well.
Blue Cord Realty Clarksville.com. Sorry, Bill. I suck at singing. I'm working on it, though. All right. And I think, all we got left is, don't forget about trivia on Wednesdays at Skyline 500. Hey, have you been up there?
I have not.
Oh, this is awesome. I love Shelby's Trio, and I love the rooftop. What a view. What a view of downtown Clarksville in the arena. Beautiful. Yeah, check us out. Skyline 500 Rooftop Trivia, Wednesdays, 7 o'clock. All right. Is that everyone? Oh, I can't forget, Office Now. Yeah. Hey, if you're a business owner and you want to be surrounded by like-minded entrepreneurs and you need an address, hey, come check us out, all right? Hey, if you're looking for suites and stuff like that, this is perfect for you. If you want an actual business building location, Blue Cord Realty Clarksville.com. Sorry. All right, I think we're done now. Maria goes, Kelly, you're awesome. Maria's a known liar, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
No, I'm telling you.
I'm going to poison your turkey this year.
You two, no, please don't. It's so good. Every year it's so good. I'm just trying. I want you guys to do a mud wrestling match for charity. For charity, of course. All right. Let's get out of here. Maria's here on Wednesday, by the way, in the mornings. She's good. We do a segment called it's Word on Wednesday, right? She brings a Bible scripture to the table. We go over it. And I school her some way, somehow, in her own thing. But all right, Bill. Got any messages before we head out? Anything?
Just come see us at Blue Cord Realty.
Yeah.
We'll take care of your needs, and
it's the truth. They got a whole team that'll take care of you. Right. Hey, thanks for being here today, Bill.
Hey, thanks for letting me.
I appreciate it. I do.
Yeah.
Kelly?
I appreciate you.
Oh, forget about it. Too easy. Kelly, you got anything?
I don't. Just thank you for allowing us to come here for this tribute show, and
Yeah, that would meant
it
a lot.
made our day.
No, it's... Thank God I wasn't alone. Not only just back then, now, I appreciate it. Family.
You're never alone.
Right.
We love you.
Right. You're never alone if you have family. Even if you don't like your family. See, I'm lucky. I got family that I love back there, and I got family that I love back here. Or here. Right.
Something like that.
Right. So yeah, hey, have family. And if you think you're alone, you're not. Jesus. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right. Hey, don't forget, write back what is wrong, okay? And then move along to the next one. All right. This was the local news that you needed to know. Absolutely.